All right, ready to go?
Ready as I can be.
After all those technical difficulties. Okay.
Well, it's not a TDH video without him.
I have forgotten which episode it is. I need to refresh me memory.
You've memory hold it. I was about to grab my phone, but I forgot where it was.
Sometimes I'm on top of these things, sometimes I'm not. Ah, yes. It's 2:34 V time, so welcome everybody. Say hi, Lon.
Hello, Lon.
I was waiting for you to make that exact joke. I'm glad it landed. Anyway, we got a jam-packed episode of finally a lot of cards to talk about because Set 5 has started releasing double rares during cards of the day. So we're starting to see nitpicking support for certain decks and certain smaller decks and so forth and so forth. Ain't you excited, Lon?
Excited as one can be. Some of it's pretty cool. Some of it's like, well, this would have been cool a set or two ago. Some of it was late. Some of it was right on time, I guess.
Well, you know what they say, better late than never.
Right.
Oh yes, package for Mr. Top Deck Heroes.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Mr. Top Deck Heroes, package. Man, another one? What is with this guy? Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Again.
Oh, Melody again.
Mr. Top Deck Heroes.
Oh,
package.
yes.
Oh God, thank you. That was heavy. What's in that one?
Oh, trading cards.
Cards. Was every one of them cards?
Yeah.
How can you afford that?
Oh, that's interesting you say that. I got it from the baseball pit.
Secret.
Man, these people are crazy.
It's no secret. 50 cards. Use code TDHeroes for a discount.
Without further ado, let's go straight into it. Lon, start us off with the two new cards a certain deck finally got.
Nova Grapplers, I thought I knew thee well, but you have more cards. We have the World Order Nova Grappler Arena Permafrost. I'm reading this cool little scripted piece of paper. So Permafrost is after a set order is played, put into your order zone unit, normal text. Auto, order zone, when your unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Roto Visor in its card name, and another arena in your order zone was not rest this battle, so, you know, we didn't already rest one because now you have two. Cost, rest this card, choose one of your other, one of those units that attacked, and it gets auto Vanguard Rigor Circle. When this unit attack hits, Energy Blast 3, draw a card till end of that battle. I did misread this card the very first time I play tested with it. I thought you couldn't have other arenas rested.
No. It just prevents you from.
But no,
exactly
doubling up. Correct. I was took me a sobering moment to realize that. So it's a much better card than I first realized. But realistically, you only really need one copy of this card in your order zone, which helps with the deck because you're not having to play 8 orders. You can just play like 6. So you're at least seeing them more often. And you can start this one out of your ride line and then just worry about drawing the others.
Exactly. I do agree, or I do hear the people saying where it's, well, why wasn't this a grade 1 arena?
Yeah, it'd been cool, but also being on your, if you went second, you got the first attack, you're on a grade 1 Roto Visor, you could immediately rest it to use your energy 3 that you have because you went second to draw another card. I feel that'd be a little unfair at grade 1. For that, I think that's why they didn't do it. I think Roto Visor could have used it. Like they could use the handicap, but otherwise,
I think that would have been fair compared to what decks are currently running around, Stride decks specifically, where they're like, oh, cool, I went second. Discard Energy Cycler, Energy Blast 3, draw a card for going second, draw a card for Crest, swing drive check. Turn 1.
4 cards. Fantastic. well, you've plus 3 because you only had to discard 1, but you've plus 3 cards. So,
Exactly.
well, what would make it more fair if it was a grade 1 is it's not searchable when you ride grade 1. You can't search it till you ride grade 2. So you have to just naturally open with it, thus making it a more fair card. You could ride the grade 1 that makes you ditch to dump it and play it, but you're going down a card, so you're breaking even again. So filter in a weird way.
Exactly.
No, I think it's a solid card. It's not as good as the original Arena, but more is good. You're not like, oh, I damaged 1, I'll never get the I damaged 2, I'll never get to 3. This helps you get to your condition faster or more consistently, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, this guy.
But
this guy.
yeah, exactly. We didn't just get an order because that would be just, not enough for Rotovisor that has not seen support since set 2. So, of course, they had to get a triple rare. Huzzah!
Yeah, Trabant Rotovisor. This card is solid. I didn't realize how necessary it was till because we were practicing. Me and Alex were. We didn't end up recording with it because the matchup was terrible for Rotovisor. Unfortunate. Because I felt the support was solid, but it just, you're playing against a deck that doesn't want you to hit with a deck that wants to hit. So it's a really bad time. This one being a grade 3 is actually very crucial because the ride line can add it because it's a Rotovisor that's grade 3.
What does it do?
Yes, that is the question. Once a turn, cost, you can Energy Blast 3. Choose one of your Vanguards with Rotovisor in its card name, and until end of turn, the cost of that unit's auto abilities become Counterblast 1. So the main downside of Rotovisor being a Counterblast heavy deck goes away immediately for Energy Blast. So you're kind of splitting the baby on it. You use that resource to make this resource cheaper. It has a auto rearguard circle. When this unit stand by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rotovisor's card name, so you can't splash it in other builds. They proved it. Cost Soul Blast 1, choose any number of arenas in your order zone and stay in them. And if you stay in 3 or more arenas by this effect, cost Counterblast 1. And then all of your front row rear guards get plus 10k to a turn. So what this solved in the deck for me is you don't have to run fronts now. You have a front on your rear guard. You still counterblasting 2. Potentially 3 if you have 2 of these guys. But now you're kind of at the same point again with Counterblast, but you have a good effect. It's not just Rotovisor giving 5k to rear guards and drawing a card.
And you can reuse arenas. So on your early game, when you go first grade 3 turn, when you can only have 2 arenas because of game state, it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to do maybe 4 attacks with 2 arenas in this guy. Hey, all of my attacks are going to have unhits now.
Correct. Recycling the orders to use them a second time in a turn is huge. Because they're like, oh, I dodged it. It's like, dodge it again. This time with triggers. Because I'm going to have drive checks now. Have fun with that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I need to read something. When your unit attacks, okay, cool. I think this works this way. So basically, it's been a while since I saw or played Rotovisor. I don't remember. You've recently played it, so you can correct me if I say anything incorrect. But let's say you have all your arenas rested. When your Vanguard swings, it activates its ability. It's an on-attack restand, right? It's not end the bell, right?
It's after battle.
Damn, that sucks.
No, they thought too well on it. Because you could, refresh, engage 1. Now my Vanguard has it on hit. While you're still declaring your attackers and doing your abilities.
Damn, man, I'm trying to break.
You can't, unfortunately. And all the orders have until the end of that battle, so you couldn't potentially stack them on cards. If they made an order that didn't stay until end of that battle, or just until end of turn, oh, dude, Rotovisor would actually be really good.
I do like one more flavor about this card that reminds me of a certain bad promo that I recently played. In all of its abilities, it has each of the costs. It has an Energy Blast 3 cost, it has a Soul Blast 1 cost, and it has a Counterblast cost. Every single fucking resource.
Yeah, I don't know of another cost that there is in the game. If it makes a crest, then, or it makes a rear guard marker, then it's really done everything the game can do.
Pretty much.
Make a force marker.
Really, really good. Exactly. Overall, a really, really good card. This was shown during the Tuesday stream, but it wasn't the only card that was shown during the Tuesday stream. We also got support for another side deck that came inside of DZ, and that was Lascaria. And Lon's shaking his head because he...
It's the foil to this deck. I hate it. Oh.
Lascaria got 3 support cards, and of course, all of them Villano. And starting off with the common Villano Soldato de Robe. Jesus Christ, these names. Exactly. It's a grade 2 that says auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Lascaria in its card name, and your drop has a card with the same card name as this unit gets 10k power until the end of the turn, making just a 20k beat stick.
Yeah.
I mean, simple.
It's simple. I mean, there was a reason Alex wasn't running it. The deck's kind of got really good rear guards already, so this is just more to the pile.
See, the only thing I'll say about effects like this that are really simple of just gaining power, certain decks can use and abuse them. The reason I say this is because recently we did Hari and Night Rose, the 2 new stride decks, and both of those run cards that are literally just bump for power, bump for shield. The shield one, of course, has more merit for obvious reasons, but the bump for power one is literally just bump for power. It just becomes a big number, and it does nothing else. But sometimes you just want a big number on board to go punch.
No, or a place to dump all your crits to. It's like, man, I hope you have another PG. You have one from a Vanguard, but this one needs one too. Good luck.
Exactly. Right. So it is a simple card, but hey, sometimes simple cards are just what the deck might need. Moving on though to the other cards that are not so simple, we have another grade 1 rare, Villano Familia Falturi, or Familga.
Familia. Maybe the G silent. It's hard to say.
These names, man. Its ability is auto. When this card is discarded from hand during your turn, if you have a Vanguard Lascaria in its card name, Soul Blast 1 and call this card to rearguard. So just a free unit.
I didn't read these cards, and I was wondering why Alex wasn't running them. I understand why he's not running this one. That deck needs Soul, and it goes through pretty quick. So to dedicate it to another rearguard is difficult. But, you know, depending on how you build the deck, this can be useful.
I see why they made this card. Because Villano herself, or Lascaria herself, wants to have basically a full board of Villanos. So just being able to discard and call this to the board and just meet conditions of having a full board of Villanos for your crit to Vanguard, for your 5k and all that. Because this thing is going to be a 13k booster because of the Vanguard's ability. So it's like, it's not just nothing.
Yeah, no, it does something. It's a budget option if you're not running like Stoicheia staples. You know, you can't. The deck's pretty cheap outside of staples, so this is the alternative to having like, oh, I don't have the cycler, so we're running this card. That way, when I discard it, I can call it. So it's like it's just a budget option, which is nice.
Exactly. And then last but not least, probably the card that Alex did run. It's a triple rare grade 1 for Lascaria. Villano Soldado Lepfonila. That's the closest I'm gonna get to. Its ability is auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a Vanguard Lascaria in its card name, Counter Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Villano in its card name, or up to 1 order card without Regulus piece from among them, reveal it and put it into hand and shuffle the deck. And then continuous rearguard during your turn. If you have 3 or more units with Villano in its card name, this unit gets 5k. Basically on the grade 3 turn, making it an 18k booster or attacker.
No, it's so good. The only thing that's not making it busted is if its last part is 3 or more units with Villano in its card name. Getting the +5, because like you can't rush with as a 13k at the beginning of the game without like super dedicating to the board.
Which I'm going to assume Alex did because he likes to just blurt out his hand early and go.
Yeah, but like throughout the game, it just being an 18k booster is huge because he has restanding grade 3s. So it'll be like swing with tiny number, like guardable number, 10k or more shield, 10k or more shield. And then it's like, all right, bless 20. Like it's like, oh, it hurts. It's so painful. I didn't defensive enough. It's no, it's a good card. It's really solid. It just compresses the deck in the right way. It's on call. So it's a great counterblast skill. Because I felt the deck beforehand. It counterblasted, but this helps like it really max out its potential on counterblast. You're not wasting.
It counterblasted a lot because basically it has a grade 1 that basically has a very similar effect. I believe it was just counterblast won't look at top 5 for Volano. So now you have 8 cards that just look at top X for and just filter.
Correct. So like it just the consistency of the deck like was boosted way up, and it shows. You should watch the video when it comes out, peeps. It's a solid one. That card's
I just gotta edit it, man. Just patience. I just gotta edit it.
Well, I know these always come out first. So I'm promoting. Speaking of promoting, Liquid Death. Please.
Yes. Speaking of no, even better. Speaking of promoting, I read 3 cards. It's time for you to read 2 cards.
So 4, got it. At least you got him out of the way first. So yeah, this is Galactic B hero, Nimble Urak. He's a Birdman. If we don't love our Birdmans.
He looks so cool.
He looks cool. His effect's not bad. The problem is there's just so many hero cards already. It's hard to make room. So if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with B hero, and this is while it's in the order zone. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with the B hero in its card name, cost rest a base in the order zone, call the scouted card to rearguard circle, and it gets +5 shield or +5 power till in a turn if you call it to rearguard circle. And it also has order zone. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with B hero and its unit card name is attacked, you can rest a base in your order zone, call this card to Guardian Circle. And it has
it's a 5k shield.
Oh god, this card's worse than I originally thought. I thought it was a 10k shield. No wonder.
I wish.
Small spoiler, I didn't run this because it was that bad. You have the double rare from the first run of heroes that for only 1 Soul Blast, all this card does is save you Soul Blast for 5k shield.
It's basically that. What this card was meant to be is a do not pay any of the base costs. Just get this card to do the base effects on its own. So without discarding a card, it can call itself and become a 15k, technically 20k with, the Vanguard's ability. Without soul blasting a card, it can go to guard circle from order zone. So it's basically like, do not use the costs of your order, just use this card.
Yeah, now he's, again, he's not a bad rear guard. He's just, the other ability's worthless because the other card we're about to talk to is just a step better than this by a lot. This guy.
I think a couple more steps in just exactly.
Well, again, he's only a double rare, right? Yeah. Yep. So I ran this guy as a 3-of, if I remember. At first, I was skeptical about running either of them. I was just like, I splashed the grade 2 as a 1-of just to try it, and I'm just like, every time I saw him, I'm like, I'd rather you be another copy of this grade 3. So I just bumped the grade 3 up to 3 copies because at the end of the day, this guy can help with your hand. Because he can come back to your hand, and I'll show you why. So he has, his name is Galactic B Hero Icy Typhos is his name. He's got a cool name, cool art. I think he looks nice. When this card is scouted, cost Energy Blast 3, and put this card into hand, and you may soul charge 1. That part is very important. You don't have to, a lot of hero stuff, it makes you soul charge if you do. That's not usually optional. Sometimes that can lead to deck out. But your soul is an important resource. Continuous rearguard Guardian Circle. If your order zone has 3 or more bases, this unit gets plus 5,000 power and plus 10 shield active on opponent's turn 2. This card is super cool for that because it adds shield to hand, and you may soul charge, so you don't have to. Getting it in there early is pretty solid because you'll empty your hand out just filling up stuff. Helps with in the early game when you're having to ditch to ride, you can rescout it later, build up a soul if you need to build up soul, and you need shield from hand, and calling him to rear guard in your column that doesn't swap around, like if you want to put your counter charger in that column, or you're doing your grade 2 chain of counterblast, you can end on this guy. He's a really cool guy to end on because he's a 23k power because he gets 5k on his own and your Vanguard gives him 5k. So he's just huge.
Magic numbers.
Yeah, 23 is a magic number. It's really cool. I like him a lot. Plus, if you have the 10K booster behind him, that's 33. That's the big magic number right there of very annoying. Oh, that's a front shield.
Is there a way to scout your rear guards on board during battle phase? I think there is. No, not during battle phase. I feel like there is a card in Heroes that was a type of end of turn scout. It was like also grade 3.
Yes, he was a double rare. Or no, he's a single rare, and he has a frame rare art. I ran him as a 1-up for the longest time. He was like the green hero and the common rider looking outfit. I loved him. He was a really cool tech option because he would it's either the end of the battle he attacked or the end of turn. You can scout him, scout a card from your hand, and then draw a card. So it fills up your base.
I believe people ran it back in the day when Shiranui started going rampant, because it was a really good answer to Shiranui of making a board and then having that board disappear.
Correct. It was just a good anti-control because, I mean, when I went to World, Heroes was in the top decks, and they ran that grade 3 as like a 1 or 2 of, because the utility of getting heroes back in your base was very important for the deck. The sad part is I proxied this guy over my copies of the other grade 3, and I missed him because of that. Not to say this guy's bad, it's just you gotta, the heroes are starting to get to the point where there's so many cards, you kind of have to start building it. You have different builds now. Do you want to run the grade 2 like conga line of assholes, or do you want to run like the grade 3 powerhouses? Like, I think there's multiple options.
Just give it a minute. Just give it a minute, and then eventually you'll just get a new Dinos.
New Vanguard. And they'll have like, oh, we're going to give you multi attack. It's like, because only problem I have with heroes is sometimes your board state gets in an awkward position of which one's going to be the swapping column and which one's going to be the bigger aggressive single column. It's complicated.
Oh yeah, that's right. The grade 3 not only did scout itself and a card from hand and drew, it also stood a base.
Yeah, it reached to the base. That's right. Oh, it did. So like it opened up your guarding potential during your opponent's turn, because sometimes you're using all your bases, especially if you're not at 3, you're exhausting 2 bases consistently to make a board. So no,
overall, Heroes getting support is very nice. That just means that more decks like Heroes are potentially to get support down the road. Speaking of more decks to get support, so
more
Lon, do you know of a card in Lyrical called Sweet X Sweet or Sweet Sweet, however you want to say it?
Sounds familiar. What set was
it's it from? A grade 2 normal order from, I believe, set 2 of Lyrical that had 3 girls on the art. And the only effect it had is counterblast 1, look at top 5 of cards of your deck, choose 1 normal unit, I believe, call it to rearguard, and shuffle the rest.
Gotcha. Let me guess.
They decided to make those 3 girls into units and give them another order.
Oh boy.
So we're going to go one by one here. I'm going to start with the first girl, and her name is Amical. Thank you. Amical Patissier.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Will Taurus? God, that's a name. Will Taurus.
God
oh
damn.
My God. That's definitely German. It definitely sounds more German.
Amical Patissier. Amical Patissier is the most important part we need to know, because that's going to repeat itself.
Gotcha.
Its ability is auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. Soul Blast when look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Amical Patissier and its different card name from this unit, or up to 1 close friendship trio, which is the normal order we're going to get to. Reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle the deck. So it's an on-play Soul Blast one, look at top 7, add a card.
Gotcha. Which is the best thing a grade 1 can do in the early game.
Exactly. It reminds me of the Cleaning Sisters for Brandgate. It reminds me of the combo trio of the Devils and Dark States.
Yeah.
So it feels like one of those. Well, moving on though, let's talk about the grade 2.
Oh boy, Amical Patissier Suihi. I'll try it. Alrighty. Auto rearguard circle. When this unit is boosted by a unit with Amical Pastier in its card name, Soul Charge 2, and this unit gets power +5 until the end of that battle. So it becomes a 15k when it's boosted. That is not bad. And it builds Soul, which I'm assuming we're going to find out how important that is soon. It's Soul Charging
Exactly.
2,
So
it must
overall-
be crucial.
So the only amicals right now are the 3 cards we're going to talk about. There's no other, which means the only way that this gets its effect off is by the grade 1 we talked about, which means it's a 23 column that Soul Charges 2. On paper, not bad.
That's a solid number when you're rushing.
The grade 3 though, Amical Patissier Makir.
Machier, yeah.
There we go.
War beast.
It's a grade 3, and it is not a Vanguard. It is a rearguard type ability because it says auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. Energy Blast 3, choose a grade 2 or less card with Amical Patissier in its card name from your drop and put it into hand. And an auto rearguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose 3 of your units with Amical Patissier in its card name. If you chose 3 units, all of the chosen units have different card names. Counterblast 1, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, move them to Guardian Circle, and this unit gets 10k power until the end of that battle.
Nice. This is like just a solid committed lyrical engine is what it's looking like, which is fun for lyrical players because otherwise anything outside the desired, archetype for the lyrical, it's usually expensive, like cyclers, energy cards. Those are really
The lyrical
expensive.
pile?
Lyrical pile, yeah. So this will go towards the lyrical pile, but in a looks to be budget-friendly way because it's a double rare, or is that a triple?
Yeah, this is a double rare, and I believe the other was a common and rare, or maybe both rares.
Gotcha.
Regardless, they should be cheap. I don't like these type of effects. I'm talking about the second one. The first one's cool. Basically, if you can combo everything correctly, you call this, you Energy Blast 3, you grab the grade 1, you call the grade 1, you Soul Blast 1, look at top 7, you find the grade 2, you call the grade 2, huzzah, you've made a board, yada yada yada. There's not much to say about that effect. The second effect I don't like, and it's a personal thing because Bruce has a grade 2 that does a similar thing where it says on attack, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, move it to Guardian Circle. Which on paper sounds interesting because it's like a pseudo retire, but at the same time it's one of those things like, why am I moving a card to Guardian Circle for this attack that's basically gonna guard the attack?
Well, I wouldn't look at it that way. It's just a very weird form of retire. And it gives itself plus 10k power, so that compensates for the 2 5k shields moving to the Guardian Circle, potentially, unless it's a grade 3.
Exactly,
So,
but
like,
that
it
means it's
compensates for
only a
that.
5k. It's only a 5k guard after that point if it's just it attacking.
But it's purely a numbers game. That's 3 cards eaten. 1 from hand, 2 from field. That's literally all that's supposed to be. I think you're giving a card too much credit. I think it's simple, and what it's supposed to do is just removal, because lyrical doesn't really retire. Now it does.
True. The bright side here is that if your opponent does have an empty board or even 1 card, you do as much as possible, it will still gain the 10k power. So at least it's a kind of a Cannabis 1 gain 10k if you have all the conditions met.
Exactly, and I think that makes this a very actually solid card. Unfortunately, it does revolve around having the engine. They like get everything set up for it. But otherwise, no, I think that's a really cool thing for lyrical, having retire, and it gets around like decks like Ava, where it's like, yo, you can't retire my stuff. It's like, I'm not retiring. It's just they're moving circles. That's all. They are bigger
Pretty
shields,
much.
however, but it's free retire against
But
Ava,
one-
which is nice.
Time to talk about the 3 girls again in a new order now.
Oh boy, close friendship trio. Play this with cost Soul Blast 2. So grade 2 is fulfilling the cost for this card. Okay, I knew it would come up, but it came up really soon. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 unit cards with Amical Patissier and their different card names from among them. Call them to Rearguard Circle and shuffle the deck. So potentially hitting 2 out of 9 cards that are different names. I don't see anything wrong with it. Just hope for more patissiers in the future to just make this a solid engine for just any lyrical deck, honestly. Just
It's
to be
one of
more
those things
consistent.
like both the... both the grade 3 and the grade 1 literally only say when placed, not from hand, not from anywhere. So you can potentially just play the order, place the 2. Let's say you get both the grade 3 and the grade 1. Oh, cool. Energy Blast 3, grab another one. Soul Blast 1, look at top 7, grab more. You're just deck thinning at that point. And let's assume you're running max numbers of all of these. So you're running 12 searchable targets.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I said 9 earlier because I've been playing 3 max card formats for other card games. So my brain's not too smart. But yes, Vanguard is 4. So yes, 12 is the more correct number. I've had Yu-Gi-Oh on the brain lately.
Valid.
No, I also thought like it's kind of a stretch, but hear me out. Like, because I'm bad with names. Kyrie, right, is the Divine deck.
Kyrie is not the Divine deck.
It's I'm getting the names.
Chris Rain.
Chris Rain. They both start with a K, something like that. So that's where my brain's tend to mix up. But with Chris Rain, they're different names if you get all 3. So like on a budget, friendly day, you can build Chris Rain, because they each have different names. So like it's a splashable engine for Chris Rain. It's just you get unfortunate if you see too many copies, but there are better cards to run in Chris Rain. But this helps Chris Rain have a retire engine that if you bounce it all back, you can do it again. So you won't really need to use too much of the engine. Like you don't have to use the order a bunch. You might only have to use it once, get 3 copies to the board, and then just keep bouncing them back to your hand. Plus, if you use the Divine skill, because I can't remember, does the grade 3 require having the other 2 to use the second part of its skill?
No.
It was just the first half.
No, second part, yes. To get the 10k power for the Cannon Blast, you have to have all 3 on the board.
Gotcha. But and that also is that also being able to pull the cards to a rear guard circle? Gotcha. So
yes.
You get at least to get it off once and then put it all back in your hand, try to do it on the next turn. Again, it's just a cool budget option for a lot of lyrical decks. If you really want to go down the route, I think it's cute and cheeky. At the end of the day, no, I think it's solid.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun option. Because
moving on though to
that's the deck you take to teams. Spring event. That's the fun deck.
Dude, I can just imagine a team where the decks are played specifically around these gimmicks. So one player is playing the lyrical deck around these 3 girls, another player is playing a Dark Sage deck around the Devil engine, and the last player is playing a Brentgate deck around the Maid engine.
That'd be cool. They call it the trio of friendship.
Speaking of engines, we've gotten a new set of cycle triple rares apparently in set 5. And there's a good chance that every nation is going to be getting these. And apparently this effect is a copy-paste effect. There's no nuance between nation. Because we have a Stoicheia card and a Dark States card that got revealed on the Thursday stream that have the exact same effect. Yep. So because I am a Dark States aficionado and we've talked enough about Stoicheia with Milano, we're gonna use the Dark States one as an example. Talk about Sorcery Monarch Visago. See, why can't names be like that? That's a lot easier to pronounce.
The life's too short.
Anyway, apparently all these triple rare cookie cutter grade 1 triple rares are gonna have this ability. Continuous, if your G zone does not have any cards, this card gets all of the following abilities. Act, hand, if you have a grade 3 or greater, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, discard this card, put a total of 2 cards from Soul or Drop that were in the right deck into the right deck face up. Look at top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or greater card with a different card name from your Vanguard from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you did not reveal a card, put this card into your hand. And then the second ability of auto, when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, if your Soul has 4 or more cards, this unit gets power 5 shield until the end of that bell. If your opponent's Z-Zone has a card, bind a grade 3 or greater card from Soul, and this gets 10k until the end of battle. I will make one correction. They're not completely cookie cutter. The shield effect is apparently different, or same. Wait, when the senior Guardian's Soul has 4 more cards, shield fucking until battle G zone. No, they're the same cookie cutter. I thought because it was Dark States accounted. So no, the Stoicheia one is also 4 cards in Soul.
Gotcha. I don't know how I feel about these cards. Again, I mostly play Brant, so my opinion is different because of that. Because Jail, I was thinking of like first. And immediately like, well, you're already soul blasting your grade 3 in your ride deck out for the grade 4s now. So that's out the door. You can't bind it from soul. So that goes away.
It's weird because some decks can use these, some decks can't. For one, no Stride deck can use these because the second the first ability activates, it's like, this has no effects. So no go Stride decks. This is anti-Stride deck support cards like we've been seeing in Set 5.
What's cool about this is I'm thinking the other decks for I'm bad at names, but the mecha that restands the Robot Overlord.
Blue Death Star Vanguard?
Yeah. Yes, because you have different name grade 3s. This can help you search for the restander, the different named one. So that's a deck where it can see potential. You don't really want to bind copies from your soul, but you only have to really do that once if you want to. But the first effect is usable. It's a different name from your Vanguard, so you could recycle through the two.
It's basically that mentality. Any deck that runs grade 3 cards as rear guards, grade 3 cards as alternate vanguards, or even grade 3 orders, this can technically search out Regulus pieces too. Any deck that needs to search out any of those... Okay, so there is a correction. Apparently the wiki is a little bit wrong. There is this difference between the cards. The Stoicheia one is if your story checks for 4 cards in drop. So if you have 4 cards in drop, then you basically get the whole 5k shield. If your opponent, I'm going to open up the card and read it properly. So gotcha. If you have 4 more cards in your drop, 5k shield, bind a grade 3 or greater card from your soul, or drop, and it gets 10k shield. So unlike the Dark States one, the Stoicheia one just cares about 4 cards in drop, and then cares about binding a grade 3 from drop or soul, where the Dark States one just says soul and 4 cards in soul, which I feel like is a little bit unfair, because, Stoicheia can just get 4 cards by riding up, but because Dark States can't.
I think they're trying to flavor it, and that's what's most important, is they're trying to flavor it to, like, oh, it's special because it has to be only from soul. That's just what Dark State does. It's like, but why can't we have both too? What if I goof up?
Yeah, plus a lot of Dark States that care about quantity and quality of cards in soul, so don't take away from our soul. Stop.
Having the secondary option was actually nice. It's all going to come down to what decks come down the pipe later, or what's just abusable with what's currently available.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Basically what I was saying, like I said, this is basically for decks that alternate grade 3s and orders, because I can start listing decks that honestly could benefit from this. One that comes right off the top of my head is Impaldio. Oh look, I can use this to find my grade 3 rearguard that does drive checks. Another one, I can even specify Odium, because she is like, oh cool, let me search my grade 3 that is a really good attacker. Let me search my grade 3 order that I want to keep playing every turn.
Protovisor gets you a really good grade 3 rear guard, all stuff like that.
And then if we don't look at the newer cards we can look at glitter cards. Oh, let me get my alternate ride line if I don't have my jump rider available. Oh, let's go a little bit further. Look, mask decks. Oh, let me get my mask unit. Oh, let me get the mask.
Orphis could really benefit from a card like this in Brentgate, because
let me get my grade 3 set order. Basically, it has a lot of. Wait a minute. It probably is not. Probably is a bad idea. Probably is a fucking terrible idea. It is. Yep. Okay, cool. I have reassured myself it is a terrible idea. Cool. I was gonna say maybe I can run the Brentgate one in the bat, and then I realized, wait, Bat has only literally maybe one grade 3 set order. and you don't want to search that one, so scrap that idea real quick. But no, that's the point. Hell, even in grade 4 decks. Oh, let me find my grade 4.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, this is kind of bad in Orphis. But I'm like, that's only for the shield portion is it bad, because you don't want to bind your old Vanguard from Soul. You want to use that later. But the first half is solid for the deck. So no, this could come up in several decks, like you said, especially the Massive deck.
It's a very interesting utility card. If you can, the only problem with this card is the fact that the way it works, it replaces kitties, which means you have now a choice between the cats or these cards as a 2-ofs in a deck as for flavor.
Yeah, essentially, it's just a weird little, if you got the spare room for it in your deck, because some decks are like, the cat is actually bad because I need all the cards in my soul. So this is just a good alternative of not the shield portion, but it having utility in the first half. Because a cat, the cost was always the same. This has alternate cost for alternate effects. And that makes it arguably a better card. And,
not to mention, it's only a 10k shield in most cases, but against in Stride decks, at least it is a 20k shield, potentially.
Yeah. So, and Stride decks use it?
Stride decks cannot use it. Against Stride decks, it's a 20k shield.
Yes, no, against Stride decks, that's where it's going to come up, yes. And every other matchup, utility.
I already said this, but I'm a little bit scared the fact that we're getting so many cards in set 5 that are anti-Stride deck cards. It's
Bushiro correcting course. Don't worry about it. They're correcting the course. They're saying away. It's like, we goofed up so hard with the Stride deck that we gotta ungoof it, make it fun for everyone else. Totally think about that. And nothing else.
Speaking of fun for everybody else, I'm gonna have so much fun once this fucking promo comes out.
No, that card. One, the art is sick. It looks pretty cool. At first, I thought it was a guitar, and no, it's a fairy holding a key. That makes more sense. But what if it was a guitar?
Dude, we're getting Opener of Hearts, Philia. The fact that her name starts with a F is already like, this is my card. The effect is cookie cutter. It's a copy paste of Shenri. It says auto rearguard when it boosts. If your opponent has 1 or less rearguards, or you played an order this turn, this unit gets 5 until the end of battle, and at the end of that battle, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. So it's a copy paste of Shenri, but now in dark states. Bring on the abuse.
I immediately want to put this into. Oh god, I blanked on his name.
Baron Magnus?
No, the other guy. The only other guy I play. The D-Days. The Days.
Favernil.
Favernil. God, I haven't played him so long. I put him back together recently because I want to play him again. I got hyped for the new one, potentially, if we know. I want to know. He looks cool. Anyways, yeah, those have been solid in Favernil because, you can get him down to 1 rearguard pretty easily. You just go through your turn. And it's just having grade 1s do stuff. And it goes to soul and draw cards.
And also having exactly, draw cards. You
can deck out faster now with Favernil.
Dude, one deck that this gets super abused in, because recently, for fun, playing against people, just having fun on my own, I've been testing out the Venus Lukier deck. Because I like Venus and Pale Moon and all of that. And in this deck, I run this nifty little grade 1 from set 3 that says, on plays from hand, energy charge 1. If you energy blast a 3 that turn, at the end of battle, retire her and draw a card. That's all fine and dandy. And the combo Venus basically tries to do is try to put that grade 1 into soul, so you can call it out of soul, so you have a good booster that's going to retire itself a draw card. But what if I didn't have to worry about putting into soul with an effect? What if the card already on its own went into the soul and was a 13k booster, and I can just keep calling the same card out and keep boosting with the same card and keep drawing more cards because Venus Lukier constantly plays an order, so she's constantly active?
No, another good deck this is good in is Jujul, just having more card draw, so you're seeing more pieces. You can get it from drop, so if you discard it early, you can stick it into the soul. It can be recycled at least once. Just getting more card draw in Jujul is just really good. And more retire, because you can guarantee that back row's gone, But you'll have to get rid of at least one of the rear guards first. But they'll probably intercept. Something will happen. It's not too hard for you to do.
So I've recently been trying to figure out how to fix one of my decks because I was playing a certain card in there that was like, okay, cool. This technically draws a card, but it costs a CB and it randomly soul charges, but it's a 10k booster. And I'm trying to find a replacement for this card. I'm talking about Odium and running a grade 2 in there. Oh, look. I don't have to CB, it's a 13k booster, it goes to soul, so it doesn't blindly soul charge, and it still draws a card. Hey look! I play an order basically every turn. Oh god, shit. Oh, this, I love the Dark States was the next one to get this.
Yeah, no, it's a solid card. It's like the equivalent of, I wouldn't say equivalent. I don't think Branke has had one yet, but we started out the gate with a Boba main in set 1, so it's like, it's not fair to compare having full great ones.
Brent technically has a card that falls into this category, Shenri, Phyllis, Ophelia, Dog, and that's the set 2 triple rare that said if you have an order, 13k booster, if your Vanguard's grade 3, put the soul, look at top 5 for a grade 2 or greater at the hand.
Yeah, that's fair. We have one pretty early, so it's fair for everyone else to catch up.
So Brent Gate technically has a type of card that does this type of effect. So the only things that are missing this type of effect are Lyrical and Stoy.
To be fair, Branch is probably better because you're filtering, you're not just randomly drawing, and you're building soul. So you do like...
That's a topic for another day. I like the card in certain decks. I don't like the card in other decks because while it is filter, it's grade 2 or greater.
Right. Sometimes the filter, you get to a point where it's like, I don't need to filter anymore. Just literally anything that has shield is preferred now. And so it's like, I don't give you that option. Sorry. Like in Orphis, I've had it come up several times. I run the Reindeer promo as a 4 of, and I run the grade 1 triple rare as like a 2 or 3 of. Like it's just one's better purely over the other, but the other one's just, it'll come up, but it hits less targets. The Reindeer always hits the best target, and it searches harder.
Exactly.
It searches 7 instead of 5. So it's good to have generic cards.
Exactly. Moving on, though, we have one more thing to cover.
Oh boy, Direful Dolls. You want me to read this one?
Take this one. Yeah.
Direful Doll, Udita. Yeah, that's a word. Guidita? I don't know. So, auto, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Direful Doll in its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 until end of turn. If it was placed by your card's ability, it gets 10k instead of 5k. And already being 10k base, that's 20k. That's pretty solid. And I know the biggest thing for that deck very early on was having more options. And lo and behold, more options.
It's one of those things like Direful Dolls really does benefit from more options, but it benefits from more options after battle phase. It kind of has a set board it wants to constantly do. It constantly wants its multi-attacker boosted by the grade 1 that puts 2 cards from drop into soul so you can keep doing your shit. It wants something in the other column that just is a good beefy swinger, and this can be that something. So it's not a bad common. However, like always, there's a double rare that accompanies these cards, and this one is Direful Doll Bartolome.
Hey, that's topical for other reasons. If you're a One Piece fan.
This card is amazing because it says auto rearguard at the end of the battle that this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Direful Doll in its card name, bind another normal unit rearguard. Choose one of your units that gets 5k until the end of turn. If you did not countercharge this turn, put this unit on the bottom of your deck and countercharge one.
Wow, that's a lot of good. You sure this isn't a triple rare? That sounds really helpful because it can immediately open up the column that it's in, and it put itself away too. So you could call full column if you wanted to. That's sick. That's sick.
So the great thing about this card, there's 2 things. One is the countercharge, because Direful Doll didn't have a countercharger and it did suffer from a counterblast problem the longer the game went. So having a countercharger like this is like fucking perfect.
That's breathing life into the deck.
the other funny thing is this basically opens up to where, because Android can call direful dolls from Bind Zone to Guardian Circle and give them 5k power. People have been already soul charging the crit triggers and heal triggers and then using the Unica Grade 1 to bind them from soul to give the Unica Grade 1 10k, and then use those direful doll triggers to guard with from Bind Zone for 20k shields.
Yeah, that's
I need to remember. Where is Android? I need to remember, because I think my brain's trying to break this again.
uh-oh.
And I want to make sure I can't. Yeah, so the good thing about this is the fact that Android says, when this unit attacks, choose a Work Heroic card with Direful Doll in its card name from your Bind Zone, call it to Guardian Circle. The good news here is, at this current moment, there does not exist a Work Heroic Direful Doll perfect card.
Well, you never know. The whole deck's been revealed. I was about to say Pale Moon, they might just randomly give it PG the Workeroid type, but I don't think it was. I don't remember or recall.
No.
That would have been the opportunity.
We had a potential with the Hari Stride deck set introducing something, but Dark Side Mirror Master is an elf, not a Workeroid, not a Direful Doll.
It's close.
Sad.
It's close.
Close. Maybe down the future they're gonna decide to give us a generic support card and we'll just break this deck. I'll even take the bad type of perfect cards. I'll even take the bad type of perfect cards like the monster perfect cards, because even Ava and Archide and even my bad deck run those because they're searchable.
Correct. No, it's funny. I think they learned their lesson from the Shiranui deck. They're like, man, this deck helped another deck by a lot for no reason. We shouldn't do that twice. And so, unfortunately, Pale Moon paid the price.
While I agree with you, I'll raise you. While I agree with you, I'll raise you a counter argument. In set 3, they decided to make a undercover deck that was Shadow Paladin themed, and then introduce a card that said, "Hey, you're undercover or Shadow Paladin, and a Shadow Paladin." Guess what? A PG is a Shadow Paladin.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, I don't know. I don't have an argument. The Divine deck came out before because that was set 1 Divines is when that guy came out, the Workeroid guy.
No, undercover is set 3.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Dark States guy. He came out in set 1 of Divines.
Yeah. Android came out in set 1. Yes.
No, the Spy guy came out in set 3. So yeah, no, Bushiroad, sometimes they look the other way when people want it most, I guess. Maybe they felt bad about banning the dog. They felt bad about the dog. I gave him a bone.
I believe that has been it for the leaks of this week. We only got 2 sets of news. Sorry, the third one is done. We have only 2 sets of news to cover. First one is just basically a recap of stuff that happened. Lon, how much are you familiar in what happens in the anime of Vanguard?
I've been keeping up somewhat by association with everyone else. I know they had like a flashback-ish episode about a week or 2 ago where they were like camping trip or something. And one of the main characters did a thing.
So what's your opinion if I show you this?
I was told about that, and I'm conflicted because other cards. Because how long did it take before Bruce got another grade 3? Well, I guess that's the wrong way to phrase that, because every main structure deck card, like main character deck, got a new Vanguard by set 4. They got grade 4s. There's an argument that this could have been a grade 4 and we wouldn't have the same argument. It says it feels cheated because it's a grade 3. It's set 5.
Yeah, this one. So this one is named Fated King of Miracles, Raziel Vita.
Yeah, I heard about the name. He's royalty now. His artwork looks really cool, I won't lie. But, you know, protagonists are going to protagonist.
There's a rumor, speculation going around that because of the anime and how things are rolling, that not only are we getting the Fated King in this set, we also might be getting a Destined King. Which also means one more thing. I don't think Lascaria, I don't think Velstra, definitely Zorga and Velstra, and Blandmeyer, and who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Zorga.
Ooh. I said Zorga, I said Velstra, I said Dragon Empire, Varga.
Yeah. There's 2 now.
I think my speculation is because of the way the anime's been going, Varga is going to become the Destined King. So, but my point is, I don't think Lascaria, I don't think Velstra, I don't think Zorga, I don't think Chris Rain are going to be getting their upgraded versions in this set.
Yeah, probably not. But no, I think it'd be good money on the Dragon Empire guy, because I know about the whole plot twist in the anime where good guy is now bad guy, because, you know, plushies possessing people's fun.
Yep. Anyway, that's the Faded King. I think we did or have gotten or will get, I don't know, because timey-wimey recording / streaming stuff. At the time of the recording of this episode when it came out, more than likely me, Alex, and potentially Hector have done and covered the product stream that happened or that will happen in 11 hours from this recording.
Oh, geez. Oh, have fun with that.
Exactly. So timey-wimey bullshit. If you want to see our opinions of whatever got revealed, go check out that stream. We'll recap it one more time on the next feed time. But because when we're recording this and when this is coming out, there's no chance of us predicting the future or covering this in this feed time, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, product stream's happening, or did happen. Product stream did happen.
Product has been streamed. You're welcome.
Exactly.
Oh,
any predictions on what? Actually, I think we did mention or has been mentioned what might be getting revealed on this one. I don't remember. I think I just have in my head certain rumors.
Favreau, please. I need to know what he says.
I think I think they might have said something around Graham Grace and Favreau, but I'm not sure. I think they might have said something about Faded King or Destined King. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Apparently Dear Days 2 was mentioned to be more elaborated on this product stream.
Unironically, I remember like 2 weeks ago, like it was just before they leaked the new image of new Favreau and new Graham Grace. I was sitting there like, man, they just kind of abandoned Favreau, didn't they? And I'm like, I'm really sad. Really and then as soon as like the thought passed the next day, it's like, hold on, look what happened. They revealed it. I'm like, I gotta order that 4th copy of that card. It's gonna be bad if I don't.
Dude, the second they revealed Favreau, I went on TCG Player. I ordered 4 copies of that card because I remember when I was trying to pick it up, they were like $30 to $40 a piece. And then I go on TCG Player and I see it for $11, $12. I'm like, get.
I did the same thing. I'm like, I really should. I'm like, well, technically I paid all my bills. It's only $12. I can just skip lunch today. And I'm like, all right. I would rather skip lunch today than it be worth 3 lunches later. So the math. And I'm like, I got my 4th copy. We're good.
There you go. Yeah. I love how Alex got them in the mail and he said, oh, I guess I'm building Favreau now.
I saw them.
I guess I'm burying a body when I get back. Anyway, yeah, Slick with Death. I think that's it. That's been it for this episode. We covered everything we want to do. So we're going to end this here. Hey, welcome. Well, not technically now back. We're continuing the episode. I didn't tell Alex that this is the continuation of the episode with Long because I didn't post that because of timing and busy and all that. So I just grabbed last week what we recorded and we're just continuing on the episode.
Of course, whenever we have a Gear Chronicle unit, timey-wimey bullshit happens. Thanks, Gear Chronicle.
Exactly. So we're just going to move on straight into the more leaks. And Bushiroad finally decided to love me.
Dude, they gave you everything. They gave you Petralka, they gave you BATBAT, they gave you like, damn.
They really did. So we're going to start off with the Petralka support. And yes, it's actual Petrarca support inside of a main booster set. And even she got even a double rare. But first we need to start with the common. Appearance Check Trini. It's a grade 1 common that says auto drop when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Petrarca and its card name is placed. Energy Blast 3 and call this card to back row rear guard. It's not a bad effect. The rear cards, they use energy more better in Petrarca than this would. But to have something that's consistently going to be either an attacker or booster just coming to the board is honestly not a bad card. So overall, in a deck of one-ofs, it's not a bad option to be put of as a one-of.
More like a constant booster. It has to call itself the back row, so it'll never attack from the back row unless you have an effect.
Well, yeah, but if a booster goes away, or if you didn't have a booster, when you rewrite during the battle phase, you get a booster, yada, yada, yada. Not bad.
I get that. I get that.
Like I said, it's a deck of one-ofs, so playing this as a one-of is not actually going to hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of potentially playing something and not a one-of, there's certain cards in Petrarca you want to run multiples of in the sense of 2. It might screw you over if you're not careful, but sometimes it's worth it. This one just might be one of them, because we got Elegance Shining at Night on Marie. Its ability is exactly. Its ability is auto. When this unit is placed on rear guard, put a card with Petrarca and its card name from drop on the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets 5 until their turn. It's simple ability, but oh boy, does it mileage.
Do you soul blast in battle phase at all?
Battle phase, you can. You have stuff like Yuika. You got other effects that can soul blast during battle phase, so yes.
Okay. Because the reason I'm saying is in mid battle, like at the tail end of your attack, when you call a rear guard instead of your Vanguard, if you can soul blast a copy of your Vanguard in battle phase, you can at least tuck a copy of your Vanguard in.
So yes, there is a magical Christmas land where you could no, you missed timing. You never can put another Petrarca during battle phase into soul in order for with this, because there is no battle phase calling in Petrarca outside of Petrarca itself, which means if you call this as a rear guard, you're not multi-attacking with Vanguard anymore, which means you're not calling anymore.
Oh, I get that, but I'm saying like in the tail end, like you're not getting a copy of Vanguard the last one, you're getting a rear guard at the tail end of it. Like I'm saying, getting this, if you can soul blast somewhere in there, that combo, at least at the tail end of it will set you up for the next turn.
It is possible.
So you don't have to call this from hand. Yeah.
It is possible, yes. So yay! Petrarca support. I can't wait to test it and cause you guys some pain.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Well, Alex, since John's not here, you get to cover his cards.
Cool. You got LCFL support and a this is a double. This is a common. Competent Director Cephalina. Continuous rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Lisa Fell in his card name, this unit gains 5k during your opponent's turn as well. Auto, when this unit is put from rear guard into soul by the ability of a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lisa Fell in his card name. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your front row units gain power +5 until the end of turn. So a half persona ride. I'm gonna sucked in this soul.
What kind of bullshit?
I have no idea. I haven't played this deck. I haven't fought this deck. So
okay, cool.
I'm just going off of what sounds cool. So I don't know how well this is going to work with everything.
Okay. Let's see. Phil versus Levy. Done.
Got it.
We're going to do Destin ones,
yeah.
Faded ones, clashes type deal. I haven't decided if we do Destin versus Faded and mix them around, or we just do Divine Skills versus Divine Skills. But putting you against Lycia Field, depending on what the new Levy Dress does, spoiler alert, I think that'll be funny.
Yeah, I mean, I always minus their rear guards, but they're always their rear guards disappear. So it seems like a weird matchup. Hopefully
Alex,
it won't be another, hopefully that won't be another, what do you call it? What's the name of that deck again?
Which deck? There's so many.
What? Cannonball.
Michu.
Hopefully it won't be another Michu game, Philip.
you might have chances to neg power them in the correct moments where it's gonna suck for them. Yes. I don't know if you know this, but Liciaphil's divine skill is one of those divine skills that you activate as second you can. You both Vanguards need to be grade 3. It basically gives the Vanguard crit and 5k for the rest of the fight during both turns.
Yeah, I know what that one does, and it restands the Vanguard. It's a restanding Vanguard.
Well, for the divine skill, yes, but it's an 18k base for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and it's triple driving Vanguard. That's what it's triple driving Vanguard all the times. I'll figure it.
That's the
depending
effect.
on what new levy just does.
Anyway, continue on with 2 more cards for it.
Yes. We got a grade 2. Is this double rare? This is a
rare.
Yes. Weaving thoughts together. Auto when this unit is put from rear guard into soul. When this unit is put from rear guard into soul by the ability of a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liciaphil in its card name, you may put this card into your hand.
I'll be honest.
This is okay.
I think the 2 cards we just covered needed to swap rarities.
This is a missed opportunity from Bushy Road for me.
How?
You couldn't have just oh, never mind. It wouldn't have worked anyways. I was gonna say you could and just like whited out the Liciaphil effect and made this a generic, and it'd have been cool. Because then, but then I was thinking of ghosts, because ghosts have a grade 1 that sucks rear guards into soul during battle phase. It would have been cool, but it says grade 3 or greater, so never mind.
Anyway, I feel like these rarities should have been swapped. This feels more like a common. The other one felt more like a rare.
I will agree with that. The other one felt definitely more like a rare.
Now for the actual support.
I'm guessing this is triple rare. Yep. Clover Hearts Nelina. Auto when his unit is placed on rear guard. It's a grade 1, by the way. Auto when his unit is placed on rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Liciaphil in its card name, cost counterblast 1. Choose a grade 2 or less normal unit with a different card name from this unit without Sentinel from your soul, and put it into your hand and soul charge 1. So it gives you pieces.
You may soul
auto
charge
rear guard
1.
When this. Oh, you may. I guess that's important. You are drive checking a lot. Auto rear guard when this unit boosts. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Liciaphil in its card name, cost Soul Blast 2, and this unit gains power plus 10,000 until the end of that battle.
Fucking bullshit.
Correct me if I'm right. Because I remember helping him build this deck. The only requirements to count your soul is the divine skill. Otherwise, your soul is like an expendable resource, right?
Yes.
So the soul blast cost
yes.
isn't that. So the soul blast cost isn't that big of a cost because you're going to soul charge a lot, basically.
Well, easy. We can read the card real quick. So Liciaphil, I remember. Let's see. When it puts any number of rear guards, or put 2 or more rear guards into soul to gain a drive, and then gains 5k for every card put into soul. That's its only ability it keeps doing. For the divine skill, you just need to have 6 cards in soul, and that's it. So once you do that, you don't need a soul anymore. You can just keep soul charging, soul blasting, adding cards. Like this can actually add. This can be. This is stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah, so this becomes an 18k for just using a resource that you're having to have an abundance of late in the game anyways.
Not to mention it's an 80k booster, not to mention it's more than likely, the one piece is constantly probably going to grab is the fucking grade 1 that says, when I go into soul, I countercharge you 1 and I draw you a card. Now imagine going, okay, cool, let me just counterblast, add that to hand for next turn.
Yeah, because it just pulls anything from your soul.
You get to be on the receiving end of it.
I love how you're like not even giving Levy, like, we're only going to see what Levy Dress even does. We're just going to throw it against it anyways.
Anyway, we got one more card for Lyrical, and that is the cycle for Lyrical. Si Vales Velo Heruselo. Oof. That is. I'm not even going to attempt to try to do that again.
Hirasoro?
Something like that. Anyway, it's the cycle card that's coming in set 5 that says if you don't have a G zone, you can discard this from a hand and 2 cards from the right line back to right line. Look at top 7 for a grade 3. If you find one at the hand, if you don't, add this card back to your hand, yada, yada, yada. And then it has a second ability that's a guard card, but it's conditions are when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, if you have 2 or more open rearguard circles, this unit gets 5k until the end of that battle, so 5k shield. And then if your opponent G-Zone has a card, bind a grade 3 or greater card from soul or drop and it gets 10k more shield. Why is Dark States the only one that says only from soul and not from drop? Like, why us?
Because you have an abundance of soul most of the time, unless you're playing...
You'd be actually shocked how many Dark States decks either do not have an abundance of soul or do not want you to touch that soul. I
was gonna say, I know a lot that don't want, like, Bear Magnus is like, Bear Magnus, please don't touch the soul. That's already hard enough to get there.
I have Chaos right here. What is Chaos? 13 fucking different cards in name and soul. Don't touch the soul.
You know, it also has to hit a grade 3 or greater card from your soul. So decks like, God, what's his name? Favernil really doesn't want to get rid of the higher grades in your soul.
Favernil is a weird exception, actually, because you do want certain grade 3s on the board.
That's just fair.
Now, Chaos is actually a really good example. You know why? Because Chaos's order says look at top 5 and put cards from top 5 into soul for every card with Chaos and its different card name. You don't want to put your fucking ride line back to ride line.
No.
Anyway, moving on. I'm still a little bit riling from a previous stream I did. But don't worry.
Here's some good news.
Exactly. The next stream I do is going to be a fun one with a chick I like. But the next stream after that, I'm going to be a menace. Because fucking BATBAT got support, bitches.
His favorite deck. And I honestly think this is probably your favorite deck in the entire game right now. I think you're more excited every time you play this deck, even when it's bad.
BATBAT is my favorite meme deck. My favorite deck are still fighting each other between, as much as I fucking hate it right now, Bruce, Velstra, and Messiah. But they're all on top. But my favorite meme deck is fucking BATBAT. Because it has no expectations. You gotta be a fucking smartass to make it work. And not everybody wants to put in the effort. And oh boy, are we cooking with these new cards. We got 2 monster cards, which means they work with the monster order. Let's fucking go. Lightning, Heat, Monster, Moflesh. Love the name. It's a grade 1 that says act rearguard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Elderglam in its card name, retire this unit, reveal 3 or more set orders with different card names from your hand, and put all of the set orders revealed for this cost into order zone. If you put a card, draw a card.
So remind me of something. The monster promo that you used to use in that deck, does it put cards from your, or the monster order, does it put cards from drop into your order zone?
The monster set order on place looks at top 5, adds a monster to hand and a monster to drop. Its secondary ability in order zone is rest this order, choose a monster from your drop and put it into your order zone. I know we're talking about monsters, but why is a spider attacking you?
I don't know. Did you see it? It like felt a crawl on me.
You are a very small little window where I am right now because of the way I am recording this. I just saw you flailing, so I assume it was Ispudo.
I don't know. I just felt something crawling on my back. I don't know where it went.
Anyway, the monster, the set 1, the grade 1 research order can rest itself to put monsters from drop into order zone.
Okay.
And
so you can technically retire this. Okay, go ahead.
And then the monster grade 2 promo has an ability that says on place, pick a card from your order zone, add it to hand, discard a card.
So the reason I'm asking this is because I know that the deck you play runs like 2 of different types of orders. And I think there is a magical Christmas land where you can retire this card, do its ability, put orders in, draw a card, use your set order for monsters, suck it back in, use the promo to get it back into your hand, call it down, and do it again.
Alex.
Yes.
I've done that.
You've done that.
I've been testing the deck. I have done that.
So this thing's going to have some mileage.
The best part about this card is the way it works is if you see it in your super early hand, you can just throw it and you're not fighting against something that retires. Let's make that clear right away. You can throw it behind the Vanguard and just start swinging with a good Vanguard column booster. And then when you need it, go, okay, cool, retire, plop.
Yeah. I mean, you're not even afraid of it dying to a retire effect either, because like you said, the order can just put it back in there.
Put it in the order zone, put it into hand, call it the board, retire, put 3 there, draw a card, let's go.
Draw probably more cards from the orders that you're throwing down in there too as well.
Exactly. And this.
But that's not even the best card.
Exactly. This is just the common we got. This is just the common we got. We got a double rare. Union Monster Jumbo Scrusher.
Scrusher.
It's named Scrusher.
It's pretty. The name of this card's pretty hard. Every nothing, but the art of this card, I mean, is pretty hard.
So I'm gonna pause here real quick. Alex, what was the one flaw about Elder Grab Bat?
It's the one flaw of you playing any deck. It's that it's reliant on you hitting triggers, and they're the only threat is the crit threat from triggers, and we're overrunning them with just Vanguard swings.
They fixed it.
So what did they do? They gave it not only a card that gained power for doing what you want to do and drawing cards, but also gained criticals, and it's not once per turn.
Scrusher. Auto rearguard when this unit attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Eldergon in its card name, and your order zone has 3 or more set orders with different card names, Counter Blast 1, Energy Blast 3, draw a card, and this unit gets 10k power until the end of turn. If your order zone has 5 or more set orders with different card names, it also gets critical +1 until the end of turn. This is not a once per turn ability.
Which means it's only going to get more crits and more power the
and
more
more
you can burn into it. Granted, you are going to burn through a lot of resources doing everything with that.
Fuck no, you're not.
Blast every time.
There's no other card.
The energy blast it is.
There's no other card that energy blasts.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you energy is unless you have a card that energy charges and Brantgate outside of Welstra. There's not a. What does? Can you play the space station outside of Welstra?
I don't think you can.
If so, then don't. Then if you can, then it changes my entire mindset of this. Because then you have a card that energy charges you.
You're also overdoing it. You really don't need that much energy. 6 energy is enough for most turns. 3 energy is enough for most turns. If you're going second, having 9 energy, you're just gaming. But you have more than enough energy for this card almost every turn to where it's going to do something at least. No. You have to have a Velstra Vanguard when it's placed in order to draw a card and energy charge 3.
Oh, they didn't break it. That would have been hilarious with this card, because then you just throw it in there. Not only are you drawing cards, but you're intercharging, so
Alex,
you're building up for this thing. But
I know I had to double check, but you think if that order has been existing for months now, I would not have thought to put it in the fucking bat already?
I mean, I haven't seen you play the bat since Velstra.
Bruh. Anyway,
I'll be honest.
I did take it to a BSF, but that's fair. Anywho, the fun part about Scrusher is because he's not once per turn. If you have 10 different, or if you have 10 set orders, 5-5 different, because that's usually how potentially it can go. What's gonna happen is, because you have 10, you're gonna swing with this. You're gonna activate its ability. Hopefully, it's a Persona right turn for even better numbers. So let's say it is a Persona right turn, because that's usually where the 10 mark is gonna happen easiest. With the grade 1 we talked about, there is potential for it to get 10 cards in order zone while they're at grade 2, but we'll get to that. So let's say you Persona Road, and this is, you know, you have 10 set orders. You swing with this, it's a 30k that draws you a card and gains a crit. Then you swing with Vanguard. Vanguard does whatever drive checks happen. Then you restand both. Then you swing with this again, and it becomes now a 40k triple critical. Then the Vanguard swings. Then you put 5 back again, and then you restand again, and then you swing again with this for 40k triple critical. So if you have 2 CB and 6 energy and 10 cards in order zone, which for BAT is actually not hard to do, this thing is gonna swing 30k double crit, 40k triple crit, 40k triple crit. This thing is gonna be dishing out 110k worth of power and trying to cause you 8 fucking damage.
Even without triggers. It's not even counting the triggers on top of that.
That's not even counting that. That's 3 attacks out of the 1, 2, 3, 4 other attacks that are also happening on the board.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if you want to be cheeky and have 2 of these, instead of having 1 swing for big numbers, double 3 kits, you just have 2 of them. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks that are double critical, 30k, if not more, depending on triggers or boosters.
Yep.
I'm gonna be a menace.
And fun times. Yeah, fun times.
I'm gonna be such a menace.
I will say, it is nice that it has a draw. I did notice one thing when we were playing teams and you're playing it, that in the later games you did start to run out of gas. So it drawing cards means that you have even more gas as it goes on into the game.
There is a little bit of downsides with the way the deck is built. The deck is super tight on space immediately because of the way it wants to play. Most BATBAT players, myself included, want to hit that 15 set order mark, because it gives you a good amount of set orders to where you can potentially get to 13 to be even funnier, but it gives you a consistent get to 10. Because of that, you're basically have 15 cards that are set orders out of the 15 extra cards that you can work with, not counting PGs and triggers, 3 of which are Persona Ride, so you're really only working with 12 cards of space, which means you can either run 3 4-ofs or 4 3-ofs in the deck, or maybe 4 3-3-2 of something. So you don't have much deck space to work with.
I will say one thing. I want to add this before we switch over to the next card. If you would have told me whenever Cardfight got revealed, and that monster order, research order, was going to be the most used blitz or most used set order in Brandcade across multiple decks, I would have laughed. But boy, is that card carried its weight through the time.
3 decks use it. So I'm going to spoil a couple stuff already for anybody that wants to cook BAT. The current testing I'm doing is running both the Cardfight ride lines. I've completely went away from Combine Rusher. Combine Rusher used to be a guarantee rearguard that can attack, so you don't have to always call units. You don't need Combine Rusher anymore. You have the fucking Scrusher. What's his fucking game called? Scrusher. So you have the Scrusher, you have the monster promo, so you have your front row. You don't have to worry about consistently having something. So Combine comes out, so you constantly get your researches, so you constantly deck fin 2, potentially deck fin 6, because of you're just riding up. Because now literally all your normal units, if you decide to play PGs, are monsters. So huzzah! But the list I'm currently testing out does not run habitable anymore. So there's your early game draw gone. Doesn't run the grade 1 from set 2 that goes into solo, looks at top 5 for a set order, grade 2 or greater, so that's gone. It does still run the grade 2 monster promo, and then it runs these 2. And then I'm testing out something funny, because this deck almost wants full gas a little bit. So to maximize consistency, potency, and visibility of certain cards, I've taken out Perfect Guards.
Mm.
And I've put in the Brentgate Dark Stage Dual Nation.
I mean, you got a lot of set orders, so it has a lot of reach into like how far you can dig in your deck.
Not to mention you're running these set orders to make your Grade 2s boosters, so it's not a dead card when you call it.
Yeah, that's actually not that bad. Now I think about it, because if you get to your condition of 10, right, that's looking at 11 cards out of your deck, grabbing
and
a
then
card
putting
and
one of
in.
them into Soul, and then grabbing something from Soul. More than likely, either another set order you want in
the
hand,
card, or one of your pieces, like the card that's going to or get crits, or the card that's going to put more set orders from your hand.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's actually really good.
I can't wait to start testing this more. Me and Utman have been cooking this a lot. We are also thinking of a potential little bit half and half of a defensive build, because you can find the monster PGs, you can potentially chuck in the festival order, and then you have PGs in the back row that can intercept from the back row, so you got that, hostage package going.
Also, I was going to say, if you have the room, I know it's a tight deck, you could technically put in the blitz order that says it gains 10k for each set order. Just
there is no
giant freaking shield.
There is none.
I thought there was a deck that Ava's been playing, or people have been
for
teching Ava
every
and stuff that gains
rested
shield.
set order.
Oh, I just remember it was something with set orders. I thought it was just for every set order.
No, it's for every rested. That's what Eva is playing. That's what you're always going to see Eva players arrest the monster order and put monsters into order zone, even though it does nothing for the deck, just to have rested orders in order zone.
Gotcha there about that.
Anyway, enough.
So that's enough about monsters.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm going to be a menace with this deck. If this deck proves to be what I think is going to be, I will be a menace, and I'm going to make this deck meta.
Go for it.
Last thing I just want to say, you got to understand. Hold up, it's here. It's near me, right? It's right there, yeah. I'm going to pull out every single order that I'm putting in here that in technicality does not plus. Technically, there's 3 set orders that don't plus. The dog, which is just discard, put to order zone for obvious reasons. The hostage package. And technically the make a Shadow Army token, which you can kind of argue does plus because it makes a unit on board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every other set order either looks at top 5 and adds cards to hand, or just blatantly draws a card. So I'm always either making board or drawing cards from playing set orders. And now there's a great one that just says plop them in there, draw a card, and do more things. I can't wait. Anyway, move on. I can rant about this till fucking tomorrow. Destin 1 support.
Yeah, I know. Yes. You got Akaluri support. I'm probably butchered that name. We got I think a common and a rare and a triple rare, just like every other one's getting. So start off with the common, Blaze Xian Dragon. It's a grade 2
Biden
common.
Shizen.
Oh, it is Biden, my bad. Biden Shizen. Jesus Christ, his name. Anyways, continuous rear guardian circle. If you have 3 or more rear guards with overcharge ability, this unit gains shield plus 10k, so it's 15k shield. An overcharge continuous rear guard if this unit is chosen by the ability of your grade 3 rear guard of Vanguard with Equilibrium in its card name. This turn, this unit gets power plus 10,000. So it becomes a 20k grade 2, or it becomes a 15k shield. It's actually not
the
bad.
overcharge is obvious. Almost every single card that says overcharge says 10k power, so that's just obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the shield
Well, that's just
condition.
25. It's 25 because doesn't Akaluri also give 5k to?
Well, yeah, so it's
overcharges?
technically a 25, but every single overcharge ability gives 10k to itself when it's overcharged, not counting Equilibrium giving it 5k more.
Yeah.
But I don't like the guard effect.
Oh, because if your opponent eats your rear guards, then it's just a dead card.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. But moving on, we got the rare we got to talk about. Which just screams freaking Eradicator.
Do you want me to read the name?
I got this. Abschurwitzer.
Abschugewiter.
that dragon. Gray 3 auto when this unit is placed on rear guard. If you have, oh, this is a rare by the way. Auto when this unit is placed on rear guard. If you have a Gray 3 or greater Vanguard with Equilibrium in its card name, you can choose up to one card other than a trigger unit from your drop and put it to the bottom of your deck. If you have a Gray 3 or greater card, if you put a Gray 3 or greater card, cost Counterblast 1 and draw a card. Overcharge auto when this unit at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. If it was chosen by the ability of a Gray 3 or greater Vanguard with Equilibrium in its card name, this turn cost put this unit into your soul, choose one of your units, and it gains 5k until the end of turn. I'm trying to remember, is the normal order that they play in that deck, is it a Gray 3?
Yes.
So you can technically recycle your orders for this deck.
You can recycle your orders, you can recycle
deck
itself, you can recycle persona rights. So yes. I don't know how CB heavy Equilibra, I don't remember how CB heavy Equilibra is if you can afford the Counterblast draw. And the overcharge thing is interesting. But if I remember correctly, Equilibra has restanding rear guards, so you don't want this in the front row, you want those. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's an option, but like you said, you might not play it. There's other things.
Like this, you're probably going to be playing this triple rare. It's a grade 2 Drag Raider Badia. Auto when this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to one card with the overcharge ability with a different card name from this unit, or up to one of the to equilibrize the scales of the world. I'm pretty sure that's the order. From among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you if you revealed a card, choose a card from your hand and put it, or soul or discard it. And then overcharge, continuous rear guard. If this unit is chosen by your Vanguard and with Equilibrium's card name, it gains 10k, just like the standard overcharge.
So I like the fact that it's just filter searcher in the sense of a cycle card of add a card, discard a card, or put it to soul. I feel like most times you're going to put a card into soul because discarding card just makes no sense. Why not just soul charge? But if any Aquilibra players decide to run the festival grade 1s, I can see you go, okay, cool, look at top 7, add a card, discard a card, energy blast 3, remove from game, add the discarded card back to hand. Hey, look, free plussing.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, like you said, it gives you, this is a way you search for your restander, or I think they have a counter charger too. Or like I said, if you use the card we just talked about earlier and you return the normal order back to your deck, you can use this skill to then search it later on or shuffle it back into your deck too. It's not the very
exactly. So I like this card. It has mileage, plus being a 25k attacker because of circumstances is always good. All right, moving on. As per usual, we see the Destin 1 support. We see the great cycle card. Summon Flared Dragon is a cycle card for Dragon Empire. Same first ability as always of the condition. You do not have a G zone. 2 ride line, discard this, find the grade 3 off the top 7. You did not put this back to hand. Its conditions for the shield though is when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, if your opponent's drop has 4 or more cards, this unit gets 5k until the end of the battle. If your opponent's G zone has a card, behind the grade 3 card from soul or drop, 10k shield. Why is everybody soul or... They shafted Dark State so bad.
Whoa. I'm starting to think that there was a mistranslation because the Dark States one also came out at the same time as Stoic K and they were the first ones, so it could have been a translation error. We should probably go back and relook at that card.
Apparently there wasn't.
Really?
I want to relook at it, but apparently I've been told multiple times there was not.
Huh. Because that's so weird when they usually do these cycles. Usually they're all free word for word, except for like minor differences. That usually the costs are generally the same. Like they've been the same for every one of these.
I agree. I also have a grap about the other condition. Dragon Empire, 4 cards in your opponent's drop. That's fucking easy. That sometimes even happens after turn 2. Stoicheia, 4 cards in your own drop. Really? Riding up. Then done. Lyrical's more difficult technically, but with the amount of fucking bouncers you have, having 2 open rear guards is actually super fucking easy. Not to mention fighting against retired decks. Oh, thank you for helping my condition. And then you got Dark
I am
States.
kind of curious.
Hold up. And then you got Dark States, where it's 4 cards in soul, right? which doesn't sound like it's gonna be hard for Dark States. But then certain Dark States decks kind of run out of souls sometimes super fucking fast.
Question. Has we seen the Brent Gate one yet?
No, that is next week actually.
Because usually all of these have 4 or more condition other than Lyricals, which I'm guessing was 2, right? 2 open circles.
I can see Brengate being 2 set orders.
2 set orders. So what is Ketters? Because if it says 4 or more rear guards, even then, because if you go against a retired decks and they just eat your board, then it's just a dead shield.
Well, we'll see. Ketter always got the good shit because they had board.
Depending on Ketter, because depending on how Ketters is worded, it could be the worst.
All right.
Speaking of the best cards,
dude.
God.
When we're talking about cycle cards, you finally getting this cycle card is amazing. And I think hands down, this is the best of these cycle cards of this nature.
Chef's kiss to this, because boy, are we gonna abuse the hell of this. We're 80% there, boys. 80% to finally having Story Pile. This is a leap forward, but we're not there yet. But we're really close. We're talking about Deep Land Melidus. Medis. It is a promo for Stoichea. It's a grade 2. Auto when this unit is placed on rear guard other than by a unit card's ability. If you played a normal order this turn, cost Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from the mill cards. Call it to rear guard if it's a unit card. Put it into your hand if it's a normal order. And shuffle your deck. And then auto rear guard when this unit attacks. If this unit was placed on rear guard from drop this turn, cost Energy Blast 2. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards until the end of your opponent's next turn. That unit cannot intercept and cannot stand during the next stand phase. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gains 5k into the end of battle.
Damn.
Spiritual Body Condensation. You Soul Blast. You call this. You use a skill. You Soul Blast again. You proc. You know what you're looking for at the top? Oh, cool. Here's Burrow Shrooms. Put Burrow Shrooms back into the soul so you just burned. Make 2 more rear guards. Here's you 3 rear guards for 1 Spiritual Body Condensation. When you're with this card being a 20k attacker, more likely.
Into a grade 3, yes.
Into a grade 3, yeah. There's your semi-Story Pile right there.
So making the board, the effect's obvious, and in the story that's easy. I can only say one word, and this card starts skyrocketing because of filtering and making board for nothing. Alchemagic. Anywho, the reason this card I think is even better than any of the other ones, because if we start comparing, is the second effect. It doesn't plus. Dark States 1 is Soul Blast 3 plus 1 card. Lyrical is Counterblast 1 plus 1 card. Dragon Empire is not plus, it's a 10k body potentially if you do it right. This one is also a 15k body, so it doesn't plus. However, Energy Blasting 2 and saying stun to one of your opponent's rear guards is probably fucking amazing.
Especially in decks like Shiranui that wants its restanding rear guards. Oh, my 4 got restricted to 1. It's fine, it'll restand. Stun it.
So, Alex, I think the best way I can describe it, and you agree with it, is remember when we played Levy Dress and I'd used a nifty little set order and meet you that went stun?
Oh, yeah.
How annoying was that?
Oh, it was annoying. But hey, you know what's even funnier than that is the fact that this card is early game generic support. Just go on Levy Dress 100%. But also another fun thing you can do with this, if you have a deck that attacks at least 4 or more times, you can Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 to call a Inlet Pulse Dragon, which gives you the draw back. So it technically breaks even. Because it goes into Soul and draws a card, and you replace the card, you use an order in your hand to call this out of your draw.
I love that they've proofed these to where you can't battle phase call them and activate their effects. Because there's no
100%.
battle phase order that does stuff. We haven't. They didn't give this type of card in Brentgate, which has set orders, and I don't think any set order even does that. No, so there's no way to play orders and order effects. So yay.
The only order that does something in the battle phase, there was a grade 1, or not grade 1. It's a normal order from DivineZ set 1 or 2 that said if you attacked, give a rear guard if you attacked 4 or more times at the end of the turn, draw a card.
Ooh.
That's literally
Question:
it.
Is there any blitz order in Stoichea at this current moment that calls a card to rear guard?
Not at the moment. There's a card that there's Ghost Chase, which bounces this back to your hand, so you can technically bounce it back to your hand and play it from hand again. So it is placed from other than a card's ability.
So, if at any point in the future they, for some reason, make a blitz order in Stoi that calls cards from drop, call, Soul Blast 1, Deck Thin, Energy Blast 2, Stun Battle Phase. All right, it's on attack stun.
No, it's when it's even attacks.
It's on attack stun. Still, being able to Soul Blast or call stuff.
Yeah, don't break it.
You know what? Talking about breaking and that type of... You know what? I'm going to figure out in what deck in the future recordings I can put back Bodis.
I got an exact deck you can put it against at some point in the future.
Which one?
Put it against Vergilla. Because its normal order gives your Vanguard the skill until the... whenever your rear guard dies on your turn, you can search your deck for another normal unit called to rear guard. We've never had a deck yet to use that effect. Only Bodis is the only way that that ability will trigger in standard.
Oh, yeah, true. No. Anyway, moving on.
No.
We got 2 more cards that honestly surprised me. We got more.
I'm happy about this.
Jester.
Sorry, I'm really happy about one. I'm very disappointed in the other. We'll talk about the disappointment first.
So the first disappointment apparently is a common grade 1 Gothelinic Chimera. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Auto rear guard at the end of the battle that this unit boosted if you have Vanguard, Alma Jester, or Evil Eye in its card name. Counter Blast 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 3 card without regular space from among them. Really put it in your hand. Shuffle the deck. Not bad. It's
why would you
basically
run this pack? It's discount promo.
It's better discard promo in the sense of it's reusable without having multiple copies of it.
But the other one goes into your soul, gives you soul, doesn't use a counter blast, and if I remember right, can actually add Regalius pieces.
I don't remember that part, but the extra bonus you didn't mention is it can attack or boost, not just boost.
Yes. It's how you can use in the early game as an attacker for grade 1 rush.
But if you if you're not worried about CB and you have CB to spare, you can just call this and just every turn at the end of battle counter plus 1 and just keep filtering.
Or if you're one of those who couldn't get a hold of the promo and you want a cheap version that works the same, this is honestly not a bad filler card for that moment.
It really isn't. However, yes, there is a better double rare Sternberg Chimera. Auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a Vanguard Alma Jester in its card name, choose a card from your drop and you may put it into soul. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and you put a trigger unit for this effect, this unit gets 5k until the end of battle, making it 15. Not bad. Auto rearguard. When this unit stands by the ability of your Vanguard Asterea in its card name, if your bind zone has 4 or more criticals, this unit gets critical +1 until the end of turn. What?
And finally, we got a threat in the deck. It's not the Vanguard.
We fucking finally got a threat in deck. Not to mention the threat is going to restand with 10k more power.
Yeah. Honestly, I have an inkling. Because as of right now, the only way this card's getting a crit is through Mask. Because if you're not on, the only way to restand from your Vanguard is through Mask. Unless we get a new Algemester Vanguard or Astraea Vanguard in the future.
but that's future. Right now, Mask is the only way, and Mask is technically better. Not to mention, you can get this card on the board super easily because of Bifrost.
Bifrost, or you can dig for it with the grade 2 Chimera that, you know, looks at the top 2. You can use it to filter early in the game for these.
So who's going to play this on video?
I'm going to let you decide if you want to play it or not. If not, I'll play it.
I haven't cooked.
That's up to you.
I haven't cooked Mask in a bit. I might. Anyway, let's finally end this long ass episode here, combining Lon, Alex, and me, with the last bit of news. So when me and Lon did it, the product stream was literally happening a few hours after we recorded. And then we did the product stream. And now we know what the product stream is. So hey, timey-wimey stuff fixed itself. And we got more information on the Tuesday stream from the product stream.
Yeah, we got Gab Wellis is a card.
And not a cute card, a fucking oh my god, please don't hit me card.
I am a little concerned.
That it's a Vanguard and not a rear guard?
Well, we don't know if it is. That's the thing. We don't know if this is a rear guard card. If it is a rear guard card, does that mean we're going to get Sybil? Because we haven't seen a Sybil card yet. We've only seen
Sybil.
Varga.
Technically is Varga.
It is a lingering spirit though. But the thing is though, is when we got Varga, right, it's supposed to be Sybil splitting itself from the unit, but it doesn't have Sybil in its card name when it became the full unit. So does that mean we will get a Sybil unit as a rear guard? Like this might be a rear guard unit.
Man, you're speculating a very big pool. You're speculating, man. Well, I got no clue.
Like this whole set is just wild at this point, man. Everything is just wild because we're gonna talk about later. We're getting a Levitress Evo set after we got Levitress.
Yeah, but before we get to that, Vanguard G 10th anniversary set that's being made with some well, not 10th anniversary set, 10th anniversary cards are going to be inside of set 6, and apparently we're getting serial number rares again of Chronojet Messiah.
I think the fact that they didn't say there are serial numbers of other G units in here means that these are the only 2 getting support in this set, which is kind of sad.
I do believe so as well. And also the serial number rares, there's only going to be 10 of each.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not like Minerva where there's 1,000, there's only 10.
So whoever manages to get a playset of these is going to be like sitting on bank.
Blank. I do like this, the OG art. So if you're a big fan of the OG art, then congratulations. You're going to like these.
Exactly.
You good?
I was yawning. I was hoping you'd cover while I was yawning.
Oh, my bad. I will say, though, that does give me something to look forward to in the future, because that means that Luard and Shiranui will be getting the same treatment, I think, down the road whenever we get the next Cray set. And they're pretty much going to have to keep doing this for each stride deck, because otherwise you're going to be showing favoritism over others. They're already doing that because we still haven't gotten promos for Shiranui and Luard yet, which wink, wink, Butcher Road. Can we get some promo support like Jet Messiah did?
No.
I think Luard would be cool.
No,
I'm Shiranui.
No. Talk about the other promos.
Well, okay. Speaking of promos, though, we English shop tournaments. The October promos are in. We got promos for Bruce. You got promos for the quick start decks for Dragon Empire, Lyrical, and Keter. We got the promo for Welstra, and we got the promo for Maggie, which I'm excited about. And then for reprints, you got the Monster PG, which Lon is super excited about. Defensive Roar, and I forgot the Blitz Order for Dark States, but I think it's the one they use in
Soul Charge 1, call a card, give it 5k.
Yeah. Which isn't a bad order.
No, it's an amazing order. It's probably the order you always try to splice in Dark Stage decks because it's just a free soul charge one, call something out of soul, give it 5k. So you're bumping something up for power, you're calling something. It works with the cycle cards, so you can just soul charge it, call it out, give it 5k, soul blast one, call something else out, and just start, comboing
here's an example. This is literally the second half of the ditch cycle draws from the soul blast ones for Dark States. Except it's don't have the persona red to do it.
So I think this promo pack is probably going to be one of the best promo packs we've ever gotten. Because the 3-star deck support cards are probably amazing for the star decks and necessary. The Bruce, as much as I don't like where Bruce is sitting right now, the Bruce promo is amazing and it does extend the deck a little bit. I don't have to say anything about the Velstra promo. It speaks for its damn self.
The Maggie promo goes in both, like masked and regular, and it's just a really good card.
And then both defensive rower is probably one of the best blitz orders Dragon Empire has ever gotten. Any Dragon Empire deck always tries to splice in 1 or 2 of it. Like I said, with the normal order for Dark States, and then the Monster PG is obvious. Like you said, with the Monsters set order, 3 fucking decks run it.
Yep. This is just a good PG that you can just search off the top 5.
Now, the only thing I will say, and the only shade I'll throw is, Alex, do you notice a mistake?
Are we missing a nation?
I'm hoping when these promos come out, it's just a graphical mistake and not an actual printing mistake.
It's not a monster PG.
They put the art and the name of the monster, of the beast. Perfect guard. When it used to be called the Beast and not a monster, before Bushiroad made the big errata because Stoicheia uses the word beast and Brentgate started using the word monster. So they distinguished the two to the nations, and they changed anything that was called a beast inside of Brentgate into a monster because the Japanese word was kaiju.
I'm gonna call it now that they did miss up there, and you know what's gonna happen? Just like they did with Bubble Mane back in the day, they're gonna have an exchange program in your local in your regionals or your shops that you can just exchange these for the right one.
Bro, there's not even need to mention Bubble Mane. They're just gonna do an exchange program with the same fucking card again.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying though, is like you're gonna do this, but you're gonna have hollows now that you can exchange the hollows for, because this can become hollow in the packs. That's the whole reason that this is exciting, because now you can hollow out your PGs for your monster deck.
Anyway, we're not gonna end this episode on bad news. We're gonna end it on exciting news.
Very exciting news. It's my boy. You gotta go up.
Your boy that you were super excited for, hyped for, crushed by Michu, disappointed for a bit, and then now you're hyped for again.
Dude, like LeviDress is just really, I love the deck. I can tell you now, in the background, I spent it like over a month trying different versions of the deck to get it to work, because I really want to take this to regionals, like the way it is now, not like with this. Like, I want to make this deck work, because if I can make it work, I am 100% taking it. But God, is it really hard to make this deck work. Anyways, we got to talk about the new guy version. We got a Destined King LeviDress. Sybil isn't the Destined King, LeviDress is.
Destined King of Infinity LeviDress Imperio.
The art, though, is very... God, when you see this card in hollow, dude, it's going to, like, blind people. I'm telling you. Like, this amount of glow in the art.
So there's a couple of effects going around. One of the first effects that the episode showed and someone transcribed is basically it seems to have the continuous ability of this card is also regarded as the original LeviDress, because in the episode we see him announce Persona Ride.
Yes. So either that, or it's what do you call it? It's gonna have the same effect as the Dual Nations alternates, where you ride on top of them.
Almost 100% not, because he didn't in the episode say activate Persona Ride. He Persona Ride and rode the card, so it's almost 100% guarantee.
Then I also think it's gonna be like what's her name? The lyrical deck that restands. The one everybody likes.
Letitia, where you can't ride, you have to ride this on the OG, because in the anime he had the OG and then rode this. Otherwise, why not just put this in your ride line? Exactly. Another reason why you wouldn't want to put this in the ride line, because apparently one of its secondary effects is act ability, put a card from your hand into soul, or put a grade 3 leverage dress from your hand into soul, and you can place 3 Infinity Eye markers.
Which I'm wondering if it has to be 1 to each side or just 3 in general, because that means you could put 3 on your opponent's side, maybe?
Maybe. We don't know. There's still a lot of speculation. For instance, one of the first people to transcribe the effect worded the effect in a way that I don't like, and it's not their fault, it's just we don't have information, so this is all speculation, is the fact that when you put the leveragers into soul, you make 3 markers, you gain 5k per leveragers in soul, and you inherit the divine skill of the original leveragers. Now, the reason I don't like the wording of that effect that specific way is the fact that it implies that the only way to gain power, the only way to gain markers, and the only way to inherit the divine skill is to put a leveragers from hand into soul, which I don't think is gonna happen. A good speculation is the fact that put a leveragers from hand into soul is the condition to make 3 markers. It has a continuous ability that says for every leveragers it has 5k power, and it has another continuous ability potentially that says this card inherits the divine skill of the original leveragers if it's in soul.
I hope that there's another way this card's going to be worded, and I hope it's not that. And that this card gains all the abilities of the leverage dress you put into soul, which means that it would carbon copy the OG leverage dress.
I don't think it's going to do that, because in the episode that did not happen. We would see him put 1 marker, and then we would see him put 2 markers. We saw him put a grade 3 into... Granted, that could happen, actually, now that I think about it. They could have just did a TCG player, don't do every effect one at a time, and just went, put a card from hand, put a leverage from hand into soul. No, but he did say he gains 5k per every leverage, so that would already debunk that a little bit.
Well, that could be part of this unit skill, and then it just adds the OG unit skill on top of everything.
You watched the episode more thoroughly than me. I didn't watch it thoroughly.
So in the anime that
Yes?
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, how many... I want to know, because if he made 3 markers from the first ability of this new unit, did he make 2 more markers after activating Divine Skill?
So at the end of the turn that he did this, it showed the board at the end of his turn. And he only had 3 markers on his side and 2 markers on the opponent's, which I think is either a animation glitch, because he should have 4 markers on his side because he used leverage dress skill on the first turn. So that should mean he'd have 4 on his side too on the opponent's, unless there is a new grade 2 unit that drew cards and gave power to something. Unless that card ate a rare marker on your side to do the skill. That's the only other way. Other than that, then it's an animation error, and I don't know.
That could happen. That could actually happen. So, still a lot of speculation. Still a lot of waiting. There's also speculation the fact that the new leverage is going to change how much the markers gain or reduce power by.
I would like if it didn't remove the markers from your opponent's side of the board and just kept them there instead, because then it would make going against multi-attack decks better.
It would then compensate, but not letting you draw a card.
Yeah, but it also keeps the defensive of, oh cool, well now people keep throwing things on this rear guard circle or keep restanding on this circle are gonna keep getting -10.
Yeah. Well, only time will tell.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff we're gonna see in the upcoming weeks, on the next Tuesday stream, we will be seeing the Brentgate generic, as well as showcasing new cards shown in the anime, which means, yes, you're going to see your leverage dress on Tuesday.
Huzzah.
As for the Thursday stream, we are getting the generic for Keter, as well as a double rare and 2 rare cards for Alden, and a triple rare, double rare, and rare card for Flame G, including a triple rare grade 2 that actually has Flame G in its card name.
Whoa. Philip, I need you to hold a hot minute. I got to do something real quick research. I got to see if this is true. This art on here that they showed on the stream, I don't know if this is the same thing as what happened with, what's her name?
It doesn't have the Persona Right icon. In the episode,
yeah.
It does have the Persona Right icon. He announced Persona Right. It does have Persona Right. Stop tinfoiling. Stop tinfoil hat foiling.
I just saw it there. I was just gonna go back and double check. If you're certain, I'll believe you.
Did you not hear me say grade 2 triple rare with Flame G in its card name?
I know.
You really do not understand how big of a deal that is.
I knew it was going to be a Flame G support card because what other triple rare support are they going to give?
Yeah.
They already gave it.
Flame G support card, yes. Flame G support card with Flame G in its fucking card name. That's a difference.
I know. It gives you more options, more targets. Yes. You got a new band member.
Oh, that's going to be so good. I can't wait. I'm actually hyped for Flame G. Flame G is one of those decks that I potentially want to slowly build. Anyway. Yeah. With all that being said, I think we want to end this episode here, right?
Yeah. It's been going on for over an hour, so.
It's been over 2 hours, people. Don't forget,
2 hours.
long to cover the first part. Anyway, I'm gonna try to have some fun with this outro. Anyway, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching episode 234 of V-Time. If you liked the video, please like, share it with your friend, comment down below what you think of the new stuff coming out. Levy Dress, Flame G, Alden support. Did Alden get shafted by getting a double rare? Who knows? But if you like what we do here, subscribe to our channel, ring that bell to get notified. Maybe become a member for some awesome perks. Well, for all that being said, I've been Philip.
This is Alex.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye. The fuck is that for?
Imagine that pose and me photoshopping a Batman mask on me. I'm Batman.